You may currently be wondering, why do I have to go through this experience? Why do I have to go through this thing? Why do I have to suffer? Why do I have to be subjected to such an experience? Not realizing that if you are suffering, then there is a lesson in what you are going through, because if you were not suffering, if you were comfortable, then you would not be resisting anything, right? So there would be no learning that needed to take place, because there would be no transformation that needed to take place. But because you are suffering, because you are struggling, automatically it means that your environment or your situation is trying to teach you something. Your struggle is trying to teach you something. So it's important to learn from life. It's important to learn from your experiences, and this way you become built. You become built to be able to handle anything. You become built to be able to move through life with wisdom, with self-derived wisdom that books can try to teach you and people can try to inform you about. But ultimately, when it is derived from understanding, when wisdom is derived from understanding, whether the medium is through a book or a situation or a person or a teacher, like when understanding is born, then you can do what you need to do to pass the test, to pass the lesson, essentially. And then you body your experience and you change as a result, and you potentially never have to go through that again. This happened with me multiple times, with relationships, with business, with money. I've learned so much about, how to act in various situations and how to move through the world in a way that is humble, in a way that is with direction, in a way that is with like future thinking, and in a way that ultimately has purpose to serve others with what I've learned. So this is why I always say that like anybody can start a business literally overnight online and teach people what they have learned about life. This is imperative because if children in other countries that do not have meals to eat had the basic foundational business skills to set up systems that could be accessed via Wi-Fi, then they could make money, generational money. And, we would have a more free economy. We would have, a more decentralized economy that lives on Web3 and that ultimately relies on information. And we've already been going that direction, we're already there, you know what I mean? But I want to see it on a bigger scale, on a more massive scale. I want to see decentralized currency go global, you know what I mean? And this is something that, like, my vision for the future of the entire world has been gestating for years. Like, I want people to be spiritually free. I want people to have the time to self-actualize and to understand God and to talk with God and to hear him and to understand him and to understand like their own hearts, and the connection that we have with God. Like, I want people to understand this because ultimately the point of human life is liberation. Okay, so it all ties together, you know what I mean? And business is spiritual. Everything is spiritual, but business, when it is done in a way that is spiritual. Do you understand? Like, it is the ingredients, it is the energy, it is the frequency that we have when we do anything that matters the most. So if you move through the world with a frequency of selfishness and greed, but you have a lot of money at the end of the day and you are successful by society's standards, ultimately the way that your soul will be judged is like very specific to you. You know what I mean? And I can say more on that. But all we need to know is the output will directly reflect the inputs that go in, our intentions that go into any action that we do. That's why it's really good not to compare yourself to anyone else, because no two people have the same lives. And success arrives differently for each person. Success arrives in the now. Success arrives when we take stock of our current blessings. Success arrives when we notice God working through our lives in the ways that he does, that is so specific to us and our journey. We just have to pay attention to what's going on in our lives specifically. And social media cannot help you pay attention. Someone else's business model cannot help you pay attention to your life. You know what I mean? So every person is unique. Every person's path is unique. Every person's life has been unique. And we should honor that and love ourselves so much due to the fact that we have gone through life and due to the fact that we are love itself. And the way that we love ourselves can be seen by others, and it can actually become an example for others when we move with purpose to help them, to help people, to serve in the ways that we can, you know, in any way that we can. That's why business is so beautiful. It's so multi-dimensional. Like, you know, you can have so many different business models. You can be so many different things at once in today's day and age. You can be a speaker and, you know, a business person and a model and an actress, and you can be a singer, and you could be, you know, an artist of all sorts. You can be a trader. You can be anything, anybody you want to be. There's no limitation. And nothing is more positive or negative than anything else. Life is just beauty. It's just beauty. And when we fail to realize this, then we get stuck, we get deluded. We get deluded in thinking that we're not enough, or things around us are not enough, or God is somehow, you know, punishing us, or things are not as good as they could be. No, you just need to take more agency, more spiritual agency. Recognize him more and how he's working through your life, and say thank you. You know what I mean? Because when we are grateful for even the L's that we think that we take, they're not L's anymore. They actually become our biggest wins. So 6:16 on my timer. So I just wanted to relay that to you. And I hope this was a helpful message for you. You know, like, literally there's nothing off limits for you. God wants the best for you, and he always has. It's just been us keeping our own blessings away from ourselves. You know, us not recognizing potential in ourselves or in other people. Like, you gotta see things the way God sees them, because he sees them so abundantly. He is abundance, and he sees life and people and situations and nature like so abundantly, like it is abundance. So there's no shortage of anything. Like, even if you guys think there's a shortage of money, there's no shortage of money. Like, it's all there. So much money is being printed all the time. There's no shortage of food. There's no shortage of invention that is happening all the time. So it's good to just get excited about what, you know, has happened for you. Like, the fact that we are alive in this current present day and age, 7:17 on my timer, and you have the ability to listen to this, and I have the ability to reach you. Like, we are so fortunate. You know what I mean? We're so blessed to be able to interact in this way. And this is why business can be done overnight. And you can become successful overnight with your energy, with your intention for the world, with what you want to put out into the world, and with your speed and action and determination and focus and direction. So I love you. I hope this found you well. I hope this was helpful.